Welcome back to the Raiders franchise, guys. So this is a little something new. Thought I'd drop like a kind of a Raiders podcast in between each week, highlighting what we did the week before, taking a look at the stats, scout some players, and just, get some more content up about these Raiders, man. Currently, we are in week 8. We're coming off a W against the Green Bay Packers. We went into Lambeau Field and got a huge win. 38-24 was the final. The offense was kind of anemic. Can we say that? I mean, the rushing game looked great. Passing game didn't look that great. But it was the defense and the special teams that made the plays. We forced 7 turnovers in rainy Green Bay. So we take a look at the stats. Derek Carr finished 14 of 18 for 188 yards. He threw a touchdown and an interception in this game. I still don't know how to feel about Carr. I know he has a strong arm. He is the leader of this offense, but is he the answer going forward? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, on the ground, I have been pleasantly surprised with Jalen Richard. He had 21 carries for 106 yards, but he did fumble the ball twice this week, which is a concern. DeAndre Washington, he finished with 7 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. These guys have played great in the absence of Josh Jacobs, but we got some good news about Josh Jacobs, but we'll get back to that here in a few minutes. Out wide, Terrell Williams led the team with 5 grabs for 96 yards. Shout out to Darren Waller, man. He has been balling this season. 4 grabs for 41 yards and a touchdown. Renfro had 2 catches for 31 yards. Derek Carrier, he had a catch for 15 yards, and Ryan Grant had a catch for 9 yards. The one thing I want to upgrade this offseason is the wide receiver position. I feel like Tyrell Williams is a solid player, and I feel like Darren Waller is a solid tight end, but we got to build around that and get Carr some more weapons. On defense, Daryl Worley led the way with 7 tackles. He also had a pick 6, man, so shout out to him. LaMarcus Joyner, he had 7 tackles, and I think he forced 2 fumbles. Yeah, he forced 2 fumbles. He's a hard hitter, man. I'm happy that we kept him around. I think I had him up on the trading block, but we kept him around, and he's paying off big time. But player of the game has to go to Carl Joseph, man. He had 6 tackles. He had an interception. He also recovered 2 fumbles, and he had a touchdown in the game. So shout out to K-Joe, man. He was balling this week. Always around the ball and always making plays. So with that win, that moves us to 3-3 on the season, 3rd in the AFC West behind 2 undefeated teams, the Chargers and the Chiefs. We do play the Chiefs later on this season, and we have yet to play the Chargers, but these 2 teams are running away with the division. So taking a look at our injury report, Josh Jacobs has been down for about 3 weeks, but he is back healthy this week. He is off the injury report. Isaiah Crowell is still there, man. He is recovering from Achilles tear, and then we will get Luke Wilson back next week after he ruptured a disc. I'm not sure if we're going to hang on to Luke Wilson because Darren Waller has been playing out of his mind so far this season. So, yeah, I'm happy that Josh Jacobs is back, man. He started off the season great, man. He was running the ball very well, 41 carries for 293 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was averaging 146 yards per game before he went down. I'm excited to have him back and see what he can do to finish off the season. So let's take a look at the weekly awards handed out for the Offensive Defensive Players of the Week. And shout out to Carl Joseph, man. He is the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. 6 tackles, 1 interception, 2 fumble recoveries, and a touchdown. Just balling out there in our secondary. Look at those numbers for Nick Foles. Jeez, 308, 3 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins playing out of his mind, 3 incomplete passes, 341 yards, 5 touchdowns. Wow. And Christian Jones down there in Arizona, 6 tackles, 3 sacks. So we do have some players that are looking to negotiate this week. Going through this list, Isaiah Crowell won't be back next season. Ryan Grant, I'm on the fence about him. Vontaze Burfict, he will not be back next season. Now here's a tough one. Jalen Richard, he has star development. I think we got to bring him back, but that's a lot of money though. 4 years, 13.4. Let's offer it. Let's see what he says. He's back. So we got Jalen on for another 4 years, which is a good look, man. I wanted to bring him back. I think him and Josh Jacobs make a great 1-2. Richie Incognito, I'm going to let him walk because he's 36. Luke Wilson, I'm going to let him walk. Daryl Worley is a tough one. I think we're going to sit out this one for a while and kind of see what he does through the rest of the season and see if we want to negotiate with him, because there might be a corner in the offseason or even in the draft that we could look at. Coming up, DeAndre Washington, Benson Mawaya, Josh Morrow, Curtis Riley, J.J. Nelson, the kicker Daniel Carlson. Honestly, I'm thinking about cutting him right now. He missed 3 field goals this past week against the Packers, so I'm just not sure how I feel about it. Then we have Dwayne Harris, Marcel Aitman, Jonathan Cooper. Darren Waller is definitely going to get a new contract. Nicholas Morrow might get a new contract. Kyle Wilbur, Keith Smith, Denver Kirkland, Mike Glennon is going to be out of here. And then it's just a bunch of guys that we don't really need. So this week we are headed down to H-Town to take on the Houston Texans. The Texans are led by all-world QB Deshaun Watson. Man, he's thrown for 1,991 yards. He's got 15 touchdowns and 7 interceptions this season. He's dynamic, man. You know, he has a strong arm, and he can run too. So we got to make sure we keep a spy. Look for Jonathan Abram to be his shadow this week. Now, where the Texans do take an L is in the backfield. Dante Foreman leads the team with 268 yards and 2 touchdowns. Watson is second on the team with 168 yards and 3 scores. Then you have Tywan Jones, the 8-year running back. He's got 73 yards. And then Lamar Miller, he's got 56 yards and a touchdown. If we could keep Foreman from really breaking loose and keep Watson inside the pocket, we can make this team one-dimensional. But making this team one-dimensional is going to be tough, man, because their wide receiving core is unreal. Of course, they're led by all-world wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. He's got 33 catches for 555 yards and 3 touchdowns. Then you have Kiki Cutie, 35 catches for 465 and 3 scores. And then you got Will Fuller the fifth, 34 grabs for 369 and 5 touchdowns. These two have speed. Cutie and Fuller have speed, so we're going to be in trouble. I think Conley, I'm going to have him line up against Hopkins. But, again, DeAndre Hopkins is a beast. He's got great hands, great route running. We're in trouble. On defense, McKinney leads the team with 58 tackles. Then you have Jonathan Joseph with 54. The Ohio State grad, Bradley Roby, he's got 45 tackles on the season. Tashawn Gibson has 44. And then you got Justin Reed, he's got 34. In the sack department, we've got to be careful. Whitney Merciless leads the team with 4 sacks. But, mama, there goes that man. J.J. Watt, the legend, he's got 3.5 sacks on the season. Oh, not to mention, they still have Jadeveon Clowney. He's got 3 sacks on the season. And then DJ Reader, he's got 3 sacks on the season. So our offensive line is going to have to be on top of their game. We're going to have to get rid of the ball quick because these guys just pin their ears back and get after the QB. In the secondary, Clowney leads the team with 1 interception, followed by McKinney, Joseph, and Aaron Colvin. All have 1 interception on the season. Taking a look at the Texans injury report, Lamar Miller is out, man. He's going to be out for a while with a complete PCL tear. And Aaron Colvin is down this week. He's got a dislocated ankle, and he's going to miss 3 weeks. And before we get out of here, let's take a quick look at our draft board. I have added some more players. Starting off with Chris Blythe. He's a 6'1", 191-pound wide receiver from Notre Dame. He's a deep threat, and he fits our archetype. He's got an A- deep route, B+ catching, and B+ catch in traffic. We are looking for a wide receiver, and I think he would be a great fit. We are looking for more depth in the linebacker group. This is Abdul Atkinson. He's 5'11", 231 pounds from Memphis. He's a run stopper. Solid traits, man. B tackle, B pursuit, B- play rec. I'm interested to see what he does at the combine. The guy has got great size, 5'11", 231. So he would make a great addition to that linebacking core. So we do have 3 draft stories. Shutdown corner tasked with the assignment of covering Marcus Cochran. Lynn Merritt delivered. The star DB never let Cochran get comfortable as Florida racked up the win. Matt Miller tweeted out, "Did you see the game Lynn Merritt had this week? That's why he's the #1 ranked DB." Then we have from the dojo to the gridiron. Cornell Farrell is hoping his skills as a martial arts star translate to the football field as he's joined Eastern Washington's squad at halfback. Okay. Next go around, we're going to have to take a look at Lynn Merritt. So that's going to wrap up this. I don't even know what to call this yet. I'll come up with a name. But that's going to wrap it up, man. We're headed down to Houston to take on the 2-5 Texans, looking to make it 2 in a row this week. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new, and don't forget to ring that bell. Join the Noti Squad, and we'll holla at you from H-Town, baby. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.